of the holiday season, MUSC is issuing a warning on walking pneumonia. Experts say they're seeing a rise in cases in the Lowcountry within recent months.
We are joined this morning by Dr. Ian Kane, a pediatric emergency medicine specialist at MUSC Sean Jenkins Children's Hospital. Dr. Kane, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us this morning and let us know about what walking pneumonia is. That's a good place to start.
Sure. So they call it walking pneumonia because it's one of those things where for most people you can it puts a drag on you, right? You get tired, you have some fevers, you just don't feel well, but you can sort of get along with your day-to-day activities. And so that's why they call it walking pneumonia.
And what do you mean when you say there's a rise in cases? How many are you seeing?
Sure. So just to put it in perspective, typically, we run a lot of virus and bacterial tests here at MUSC. And, for the few years after the pandemic, we were seeing less than 1% of those 1% of those tests were positive for the bacteria that causes walking pneumonia. But we've seen about a 5-fold increase. So about 4 to 5% of our tests now are showing evidence of walking pneumonia when we're testing these kids.
So to the layperson, I mean, that seems like a lot, 5-fold. What do you think the reason is for that increase?
So I think there's probably a couple reasons for that. One is the natural cycle of the bacteria. It's called mycoplasma. It causes walking pneumonia. It tends to peak every few years, and they think that's because there's different strains out there. The other thing I think is we're still seeing the effects of what happened with the pandemic. So when we had kids, hand washing, wearing masks, social distancing, I think what it did was, especially for the younger kids, sort of prevented them from being exposed to this bacteria. And so now, unfortunately, they're all sort of catching up.
What kind of symptoms should people be on the lookout for, and how do they get better?
Sure. So thankfully for most kids, this is pretty straightforward. It may seem a lot like a typical cold, sore throat, headache, just feeling fatigued. I think the cough is probably the most persistent symptom. And, in severe cases, it can lead to trouble breathing. If you have a kid who has a persistent fever, persistent cough, not getting better, and it's lasting beyond the typical time you would think for a usual virus, so more than a week or so, those are the kids we get more worried about walking pneumonia.
Dr. Kane, who does this most affect? Obviously children, but adults too, or people who are immunocompromised?
Absolutely. So it really can affect everybody. What's interesting about this latest rise in the cases is that it's more impacting younger children. It's not that they're more affected, but we're just seeing younger and younger kids coming down with these symptoms. But certainly the people who need to be, especially wary are those who are immunocompromised, the very young, the very old, and those with pre-existing conditions like asthma.
And you touched a little bit on why we're seeing more cases this season. Explain to us, is this a trend that we've seen over the past few years?
So interestingly, over the past couple of years after the pandemic, we actually had lower cases than normal of walking pneumonia as a couple of different reasons, as I mentioned earlier. But I think right now it looks like, at least in our state, we've sort of plateaued. And so I'm hopeful that these numbers will start to creep back down, but we'll just have to see over the next couple of months.
All right, Dr. Ian Kane with MUSC Sean Jenkins Children's Hospital. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning.